Recording in progress.
Good morning. Honey students, good morning. Co-host mathringa. Okay. So online students, please confirm the audio quality. Okay, thank you. So online students, for any doubts, please send your message to co-host. Okay. Send your doubts to co-host. Right. Okay. So I am Kanagaraj, faculty for agriculture. I have been in this field for the last 15 years, and I am teaching agriculture for the last 8 years. Okay. I have gone to UPSC interview for 5 times, 3 times for Indian IAS and 2 times for Indian Forest Service with the Agri and Botany Optional. Okay. Right. And how many are Agri students, BSc Agri background? Okay, good. Right. So non-Agri? Okay. Graduation? BSc? Mathematics. Plant biotechnology, okay. Animal biotechnology. Okay, right. Okay. So first, basically, I will tell you about the choosing of optional, and then we can decide. Okay. And if you are convinced to choose agriculture optional, then we can proceed further. Okay. Right. So first, I will give you the basic idea regarding the how to choose optional in UPSC, and you might have seen a lot of videos and all. Okay. Right. Okay. See, there are 3 kinds of optionals in UPSC: humanities subjects, pure science, and applied science. Right. So here the humanities subjects, the sociology, public administration, anthropology. So these are the very common, the popular optionals in UPSC, right? And recently, agriculture is also one more popular optional. It's getting popular recently. So in the top 5 optionals, agri is also one of the optional. Okay, right. So next to the pure science, botany, zoology, physics, chemistry. Okay, they all come under the pure science optional. Then applied science, agriculture, forestry. So these subjects are called applied science, right? So we apply the basic principles in this science. Okay, for example, agriculture is a applied science of botany. Okay, so we apply the concepts of botany in agriculture, right? Okay, so it's a mix of both. Okay, it contains, agriculture contains both general subjects as well as technical subjects. Okay, right. So what is the advantage? Okay, the humanities subjects. Okay, you're choosing humanities subjects like sociology, anthropology, public administration, political science. Okay, so in these subjects, the advantage is no need to mug it up. Okay, so if you go through the syllabus, then we can prepare the content based on the syllabus, and we have to add current affairs. So for any question, at least you must have some awareness about the particular topic, because most of the topics are the sociology, public administration. We have been studying all these subjects, okay, since your childhood. Since your school days, you have been studying all these subjects: the sociology, geography, anthropology, everything. Okay, right. So at least you must have some idea about the particular topic. So you don't need to mug it up everything, right? So based on your understanding, based on your the current knowledge, so you can at least you can manage those questions, right? But in pure science and applied science, the problem is, unless otherwise, okay, if you don't know the content, you cannot write anything. Okay, if you don't know the particular content, suppose if you're asking DNA, RNA, structure of DNA, or DNA replication process in eukaryotes, right? If you don't know the content, then you should not attempt that question. If you try to attempt, you will get 0 mark. Okay. So if you know nothing about the particular topic, then just simply we can leave that. Okay. So this is the problem in the pure science area. But the biggest advantage is when compared to humanities subjects, in the humanities subjects, you need to update with the current affairs. Your writing skill is very, very important. If you have very good writing skill, then I'm talking about non-agri students. See, for Agri students, clearly I'm saying that without any hesitation, you can choose Agri optional. Okay, this is the best optional for the Agri students. Okay, I'll tell you the reason why. But for Agri students, without any doubt, you can select Agri optional. I'm talking about non-Agri students. You can think about whether to choose agriculture or humanities subjects. It's based on your strength. You can decide, right? If you are very good at writing skill, then you can choose this subject, okay? And if you are weak at mugging up of facts, scientific names, right? And okay, in those areas, okay, if you are weak at those areas, then you can choose humanities subjects, right? And the advantage in agriculture, okay, the applied science and pure science, the subject is static in nature, right? And if we see the last 10 years question paper, most of the questions will get repeated every time. Okay, if you go through, okay, if you prepare for the last 10 years question paper, then almost 80-90% questions will be repeated in the next year also, right? But in the humanities subjects, every year they update with the current affairs. It's a dynamic in nature. That's the problem in the. Okay, that's why I'm telling that writing skill is more important. You need to relate with all the current events, current happenings, okay, in the area. You need to analyze. But in the pure science area, no analytical question. Rarely they ask some analytical questions, indirect questions, but most of the questions are very direct questions. Write about the cell theory, write about cell structure and function, draw a neat diagram of cell structure, right? So most of the questions are very direct questions. If you know the answer, we can give the correct answer and we can get full marks, right? So in general, the marking pattern in UPSC, for a good answer, they will give out of 10, maximum we can get 6.5 for a good answer. Okay, that is the maximum mark they will award. Okay, 6.5 is our maximum mark, that's all. But in agriculture, in the pure science, suppose if they are asking this question, DNA structure, the DNA structure model proposed by Watson and Crick. Okay, suppose if they are asking this question, if you give the correct full answer, then there is a chance that we can get even 8 marks out of 10. That's the advantage in the pure science optional. But we need to mug up a lot of facts, scientific names, and you know the content very well, and you need to understand the concepts clearly. Okay, most of them are conceptual oriented in the pure science and applied science, right? So this is about the strength and weakness, okay, about the two kind of subjects, right? Okay. And especially in agriculture, so why we have to choose agriculture? Okay, what are the advantages in agriculture? For both, because it's highly suitable for the agri students as well as for students with a biology background. They can choose agriculture optional, right? And many of you are now, okay, you don't know about one important fact. See, among the various UPSC optionals, the highest success rate is in agriculture, for agriculture, right? And often, okay, the facts are misleading because we are actually seeing the actual numbers, but you have to see the proportion, right? See, mostly the popular optionals like sociology, geography, and other public administration, political science. So these optionals, the number of students, those who are appearing for mains is very high. Okay, so those who take these options are very high. So we have to see how many students are appearing for this examination and how many students are actually clearing the final result, right? So for agriculture, every year approximately 100 students, they are appearing for the mains. And out of this, on an average, 8 to 10 students, they clear in the final examination. So almost 8 to 10% result. Whereas if you see the other optional, the percentage is just 5 to 6%. In sociology, it is around 8% or 7%. In geography, it's very less, 5 to 6%. So 5,000 candidates appearing for the mains, and just 50 to 100 students, they are clearing the final result. So you should not see the actual number, you have to see the proportion, right? So that's why I'm saying this is the optional with the highest success rate in UPSC among the major optionals. Okay, all right. So second thing, previously students, okay, they don't select the pure science optionals because they don't have any relation with the GS area. So why mostly the students, okay, why these options are getting, already they got popular because the sociology, public administration, geography, political science, they have a strong link with the current affair, the GS area. So many subjects, okay, you need to study about, okay, if you are taking public administration optional, then you need to worry about the polity area. Geography optional, geography GS will be covered. Okay. Political science, again, polity area will be covered. Sociology, society area will be covered, right? But recently, UPSC is giving more importance to agriculture, right? And in the prelims, we can expect more than 15 questions, combinedly 3 subjects: geography, environmental science, agriculture. These subjects are very, very important. So combinedly, they are asking more than 15 questions from this area because all the subjects are interlinked. Right? You need the geographical knowledge, you need the environmental science knowledge to understand agriculture. All are interlinked subjects. Okay. Suppose if there is a question about the biodiversity conservation, it comes in environmental science, it comes in geography, and it also comes in the agriculture. Conservation of biodiversity. Right? So combinedly, we can expect more than 15 questions from this area in the prelims alone. Then mains, in the GS paper 3, agriculture is one of the important subject. We can expect 4 questions, 2 10 marks, 2 15 marks. So totally 50 marks in the GS paper 3. Right? So one more advantage, if you prepare for agriculture optional, then we can also use it for our GS preparation. Moreover, the problem is, one more issue is, in GS agriculture, they are asking technical questions. That's the problem. Right? Only the students with the agriculture background or agri optional students, they can able to attempt those questions. And out of 4 questions they are asking, 1 or 2 questions are highly technical in nature. They are asking from the subject, agri subject. So non the students, okay, this is very difficult for them to answer those type of questions. Okay, right. Then just I told you, the syllabus is very definite. Even okay, so for the entire okay, for last okay, we see the go through the last 8 years, 10 years question paper. Not a single question from the out of syllabus. Okay, all you have to do is just you have to prepare for the entire syllabus. Each and every word in the syllabus is important. So you need to have proper study material, proper content for each and every topic in the syllabus. Then we can attempt, you can able to attempt all the 8 questions. Right? So in the UPSC, you know the exam pattern. Do you know the exam pattern in UPSC? In the mains. In the optional, they will ask 8 questions. Okay. So it divided into 2 sections, section A and section B. So section A, 4 questions. Audio block aida. Okay, right. Thank you. Okay. So in the exam pattern in our UPSC mains, divided into 2 sections, section A, section B. There are 250 marks, okay, 500 marks. Paper 1, 250 marks. Paper 2, 250 marks. And each paper divided into 2 sections. Okay. So in the section A, 4 questions, and the section B, 4 questions. Which one? Iduva. Which area? The first lerunda from starting, starting lerunda. Okay. Okay, okay, right. So the exam pattern, okay, section A and section B, there are 8 questions totally. Out of 8 questions, you need to attempt 5 questions. So choice is there. In GS mains, you don't have any choice. You have to attempt all the questions. But in our optional mains, we have choice. Okay. So out of 8 questions, you need to attempt 5 questions. And there are some conditions. Question number 1 and 5 are compulsory. Question number 1 and 5 are compulsory. So 2 questions are compulsory. So you need to attempt remaining the 3 questions. Again, one more condition. We cannot select the 3 questions randomly. Again, one more condition. We have to select, apart from the compulsory question, we need to select one more question from either section A or section B. We cannot select all the 3 questions from a single section. Okay. So this is the exam pattern in our optional mains. Right. So either you can choose question, okay, 2 questions from section A and totally 3 questions from section A, 2 questions from section B, or 2 questions from section A, 3 questions from section B. This is the exam pattern. Okay, right. So in the entire syllabus, the questions are mostly from our syllabus point, okay, definite syllabus. Okay, mostly there is no single question from out of syllabus, right? So you need to prepare proper content for each and every topic in the syllabus. Entire syllabus is important. Okay, so further we need a proper study material. I will tell, okay, I will tell about later, right? Then one more advantage in the, just I told you, in the pure science optional, the evaluation is objective in nature, not subjective in nature. Whereas in case of our humanities subjects, the evaluation is subjective in nature. That is, you have to convince the examiner, right? So if you are okay, if you are asking any analytical question or opinion based question, then the marks will vary. You have to sync with the examiner, right? But here, if you give the correct content, you will get the marks. There is no question of any subjective nature. Okay, so for example, if you are asking RNA structure, then if you write the correct answer, then they will give the award the marks. Okay, there is no any contradiction between you and the examiner. Okay, because it's universally accepted facts. DNA, RNA, cell biology. So all those areas are universally accepted models. There is no difference of opinion, okay, in the particular topic. So the evaluation is objective in nature. So if you give the correct answer, you will get maximum marks. Okay, right. And one more advantage in choosing agriculture optional. If you are preparing for Indian Forest Service, then we have you are in the students with agriculture optional, they are in highly advantageous position, because okay, they can choose botany, because in the Indian Forest Service you have to choose only the science based optional. These the human subjects are not allowed in the Indian Forest Service. Okay, it's a purely technical exam, so you have to choose. You must have science background, and you can choose only the science based optionals. Okay, right. So in that case, agriculture and botany are the best combination, right? So I have attended an interview with the agri and the botany combination. So in our course, after the end of the course, I will also guide you regarding the botany optional, how to prepare for the botany area. Okay, right? Because these subjects are many things are common. Many subjects are common between agriculture and botany, especially in the paper 2. In agriculture, we study about plant breeding, genetics, cell biology, these areas, and these subjects are again you will study in the botany also, right? So for other optional students, it's very difficult for them. Mostly the engineering graduates, okay, they apply for the Indian Forest Service. So the problem is they choose some other optional, okay, sociology, geography in the CSE mains. Again, for Indian Forest Service, they have to choose forestry geology. That's the best combination. Actually, in the IFoS, only 4 optionals are the well adapted optionals. Okay, otherwise, okay, we cannot choose other optionals because they are extremely pure science. Physics, chemistry, zoology, and all there. Okay, but the 4 options are very common options in the Indian Forest Service. Either the students they can choose forestry, geology, or agri botany. These are the 4 famous options in the Indian Forest Service. So they have to study 3 optionals. The students with the sociology or some other optional, they have to study 3 optionals in the Indian Forest Service. But we can focus on only the 2 optionals. So one more advantage in our Forest Service. Okay, right. So, in the highly suitable for the agriculture optional, agri graduates, without doubt you can select agriculture optional. It's the best optional. Then for non-agri graduates, usually I recommend students with the biology background. So if you have studied the botany, okay, botany, zoology in your +1, +2, the higher secondary, then you can choose agriculture optional. Or students with any science background, science degree, biotechnology, biochemistry, BSc botany. Okay, so those students, okay, they can choose the agri subject. No need to worry about that. Okay, but students, okay, with if you don't study any biology in your +1, +2, then it's a little bit difficult. Usually, I don't recommend students with suppose okay, if you studied science only up to 10th, then starting from +1, +2, many students, okay, they mostly choose the computer science, other okay, commerce and other optionals. Okay, so usually I don't recommend for those students. Okay, you can think about some other optional, right? If you have any strong science background, then you can choose agriculture optional. Okay, right. But in our class, I will explain everything clearly. Okay. So regarding this course, in our course, okay, regarding our the coming July, the course starts from July 27th, Thursday. It's a regular course, Monday to the weekend. Okay, sorry, weekdays. Okay, Monday to Friday. So evening 6:30 to 8:30. But the timing and all we will fix later. Okay, I will confirm it later. Okay, right. So July 27th, okay, the course starts approximately 4.5 months. By the end of November, we finish the course. The course duration is 4.5 months. Okay, right. So what are the advantages? Okay, in our coaching. So first thing, just I told you that in agriculture, the pure science optional, you need to, because the questions are completely from the syllabus only. 100% of the questions are completely from syllabus only. So you need to cover the entire syllabus. For that, you need to have proper study material. whether you are referring the standard reference books or any material, you need to you need to make notes from the for entire syllabus in the our optional. Okay, right. So our I have prepared almost I have worked 2 years for the preparation of the material, and since 2021 I am distributing materials for our class students. Okay, before that, before 2021, usually I recommend standard reference books for agriculture, but the problem is for agriculture we need to refer more than 10 books, because for each and every subject you need to refer the standard reference books. Okay, so we need to refer more than 10 books. The problem is for many topic in the syllabus you cannot find direct content in the book. That's one more problem. Even if you refer the standard reference books, for many topic in the syllabus we cannot find direct answer. So you need to search a lot of, apart from the 10 reference books, you need to search in the internet also for many topics in the syllabus. So that's why I realized the problem, because I have been in this field for 15 years, and I was also preparing for the agriculture optional. So I faced a lot of difficulty during my preparation. So I thought of preparing one material. So I worked nearly 2 years for the completion of this material. So since 2021 batch, I am giving this material. Okay, and you are my 21st batch. Okay, because Delhi also yesterday I conducted a orientation in Delhi. Okay, so simultaneously we are conducting in a year 3 batches. In July 2 batches, weekday batch in Chennai and a weekend batch in Delhi. Every weekend I will be in Delhi, Saturday Sunday batch in Delhi, and again we conduct one more batch in the month of November. Okay, so 3 batches every year, right? So you are almost my 21st batch, right? So you will get this material. Okay, I worked for the material, and it's the complete material. I can guarantee, I can confidently I can say that this is the best material in India. You can compare it with any material. This is the best material for you. It's a 2000 page material. You will be given 6 volumes. Okay, paper 1 3 volume, paper 2 3 volume booklet. You will get after enrollment of the course. Within a week they will provide the course material. So 6 volumes. It will come in 6 volumes. Okay, right. It covers the entire syllabus. So simply you can depend fully on the material. No need to refer any other standard reference books. Just to follow my class notes, and we also conduct a regular class test every week. Okay, every week we conduct the regular class test will be there. So just to follow my class notes, material, and my the class test questions and answer key. After every completion of every test, I will provide answer key also. You can just follow that, no problem. Okay, it will cover 100% of agriculture syllabus. Okay, right. That's the biggest advantage. And I will explain the concepts very clearly. Okay, we will see on demo class here. Okay, right. So conceptual clarity you will get, because in agriculture many topics that need conceptual understanding. In the paper 1, especially the soil science, nutrient management. So these topics we need the conceptual clarity. And again in paper 2, the cell biology, genetics, plant breeding, plant physiology, seed technology. These areas are conceptual, okay, conceptual oriented. So I will explain all the concepts very clearly. Even for non-agri students, with the biology background, they can easily understand my class. Okay, right. I will start from the basics only. Okay, don't worry about that. So directly I won't go to the agriculture subject. First I will start from the basics. Okay, in the cell biology, genetics and all, I will start from the basic areas. Then in our coaching regularly, okay, every week I will provide a class test. Apart from that, regularly I will provide a daily exercise. Daily, okay, after the in our regular class. See, every day I will give class assignments, because as an agri graduate, you know the content very well, because you have studied the subject for the 4 years, okay, course, and you know the content very well. You know, aware of the various subjects. But the problem is the UPSC answer rating is different from our college answer rating. So I will provide the coaching for the how to write answer for the UPSC. Okay, so we have daily answer writing practice will be there. I will actually, after the enrollment of the course, we create a separate channel, Telegram channel, and in the channel you will be, all the information will be given in the Telegram channel. So regularly, daily I will send the practice questions in the Telegram channel. You can practice answer writing in your room and send it to my Telegram number. Okay, I will provide my personal number. Okay, right. So apart from the weekly test, we can also conduct the regular answer writing practice. Then the toppers answer copy. You will get the toppers answer copy. We can match with our answer writing practice. Okay, we can enrich our answer writing practice with the toppers answer copy. Almost for agriculture, all those students who clear with agriculture optional are my students. In the entire South India are my students only. Okay, every student cleared from the South India are my students. Hyderabad, Bangalore, Trivandrum, Chennai. Okay, and last year also the toppers, all for, okay, they are my students. Those who scored highest mark in agriculture, Harini 286, and Devi Priya Ajit from Trivandrum, she scored 274. So these are the highest score in agricultural optional last year. And before that, in 2021, Swati Sri, she scored 303. She is also my student. So I have answer copies of the toppers. So we can share in the class. During our class, I will share the toppers answer copy so that you can go through it. So how to present our answers, how to improve our answers. Okay, right. So this is the material I told you. This is just one sample copy. So it consists of it will come in 6 volumes. So all the syllabus topics are properly organized. Okay, and I updated the material recently. In the month of June, I updated the material. So it's a revised edition. So I updated with the current recent happenings, current affairs also. In agriculture, mostly we don't need current affairs, except a few topics. We don't no need to refer the current affairs. It's full of static only. 80% subject is full of static only. Except a few areas we have to on the class we will discuss. I will tell you what are the areas you need to refer current affairs. Okay, but current affairs are not necessary for agriculture, right? But still I have updated the material with the latest evenings, latest events and the happenings, everything. Okay, right. You will get the updated material only. And this is our entire syllabus topic in agriculture. The paper 1 and the paper 2. So paper 1 is like a GS paper. Most of the topics, even non-agri students, they can easily understand the paper 1 area. Basically the ecology environment. Again, in the these areas, anyhow, okay, for even those students who didn't choose the agriculture optional, they have to study agriculture for the GS paper 3 and for the prelims. Okay, so these concepts are again you will study in your GS also, cropping system, cropping pattern, those areas. Okay, right. So there's a ecology environment part again you have to study in for your GS also. Okay, so ecology environment part and the agronomy area, the cropping system, cropping pattern, irrigation. These topics again you will study in the GS. Right. Okay, it will be covered in our optional itself. Then soil science, forestry, nutrient management, extension and farm management. So these are the major the subjects in our paper 1. Okay. Then paper 2, it's full of technical. So many students for the non-agri background, they can easily understand the paper 1 area. Okay. But paper 2, that's why I'm asking you, you need a minimum the science knowledge, okay, science background to understand these areas. So paper 2 is full of technical because we cannot skip this area. Moreover, to score high marks, you have to attempt these questions only. Choice we can skip in choice, okay? We cannot do like that. Because okay, in the section A, mostly the section A, section B questions are from the first. In a section A, they ask questions from the first 4 topics. Okay. Then section B, the remaining 4 topics in the section B. And similarly in paper 2 also, in a section A, in paper 2, section A, mostly the questions are from this area. And section B, the questions are from this area. Okay. So here we can easily skip this part. We can attempt only 2 questions from section A, and we can attempt the maximum questions from this area, section B. But you won't get enough marks. Okay. So in agriculture, to get high marks, we have to attempt specific questions and technical questions. Right. So you have to attempt more questions from the genetics, plant breeding, and seed technology, this area. Right. So our strategy is, our aim is to cross 300 plus. Okay. But it actually varies. Okay. Last year the top score is 284. Okay. But okay, every year okay, depends upon the current the prevailing situation. So in some years okay, the score is 300, or some years 280, 290, right? So based on last year condition, actually in the top 150 rank, only 10 students they scored more than 300. The last 150 rank. So in the last year, the best score in agriculture is anything, not only agriculture, any optional, anything above 270 is a good score in optional last year. Okay, but we aim for 300 plus, right? Okay. So the 300 plus, easily we can score 140 in paper 1 and 160 in paper 2. This is our strategy. Because usually we can score high marks in paper 2 when compared to paper 1. Actually paper 1 seems easy. We can easily complete paper 1 within 1 month. It takes very long time to complete paper 2, but scoring is easy in paper 2 when compared to paper 1 because it's technical nature, right? So they give maximum marks for the paper 2 area. So we can aim for 160 plus in paper 2, 140 plus in paper 1. Okay. So marking is difficult in paper 1 because they are general topics. Many topics are like GS topics, climate change, greenhouse effect, global warming. So we have to address these questions technically, specifically. Otherwise, if you write general points, then we won't get enough marks. That's the problem in the paper 1. Okay. But you can easily complete the syllabus. So we have to add a lot of case studies. Okay, we will discuss in the class. I will tell you how to improve, how to do value addition in the paper 1, how to score high marks in the paper 1. Okay, we have to do a lot of value addition in the paper 1. And moreover, in material also, it will be covered. The examples, case studies, everything will be covered in the material itself. Okay, right. Right. About the overall syllabus. Any doubts? Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will see some 2-3 topics. Okay, demo lecture, concepts. I will explain. Online students, any doubts regarding course, regarding agriculture optional? And this is my personal number. Still, if you have any doubts regarding the choosing agriculture optional or any guidance regarding the optional guidance, you can message me, okay, or call me. So in our class, not only if I'm going to teach agriculture only. I have huge experience in this field. Almost I gave 7 mains. Okay, attended 5 interviews and 7 mains because I never failed in prelims. In my first attempt, I cleared prelims. Okay, so I never failed in prelims, and I had appeared for other exams also, NABARD, RBI, anything. Okay, so IBPS, Group 1, TNPC, okay, in Tamil Nadu State Public Service Commission, Group 1, Group 2. Already I'm in service. Actually, I'm a Group B officer in Tamil Nadu government. So, okay, I was selected actually for many services. Okay, I have selected many services, even Agri officer also, right? I have huge experience in this field. So, for any doubts, not only agriculture optional, for any preparation, okay, for your preparation, for other exams, okay, for interview guidance, for prelims guidance, okay, we will discuss a lot, okay, in our class also. I will share my interview experience and other students' experience, okay, everything, okay, the toppers' experience, everything, okay, in the class, okay, we will discuss. Right. But apart further, okay, for any guidance, you can call me, no problem. Okay. Right. Online students, any doubts? Online students, please send your doubts to co-host. Non-agri students, they have to choose the coaching. Okay. And non-agri students now with the biology background or non-biology background. Okay. See, clearly I told you that non-agri students with the biology background, they can choose agriculture optional. They can manage. Okay, no problem. And they have to join the coaching. Okay. So without coaching, it's very difficult. Okay. For agri students, many agri students, some students are academically very strong, so they go for self-preparation. Okay, right. But non-agri students, they cannot go for self-preparation. It's very difficult for them, right? Okay, so because many agri concepts are in the paper one also, they need to understand many agri concepts. So coaching is best for non-agri students with the biology background, and non-agri students with the non-biology background, it's very difficult. Okay, but still you have an interest in the agriculture optional, then you can call me. We can talk. Okay, we can discuss. Right? But my suggestion is usually I don't recommend. Okay. Non-science background students, I don't recommend the agriculture optional, right? So you can watch because in the coming week I have a lot of regularly we conduct the optional orientation program. So you can attend other optional orientation program also. Based on that, you can decide the non-agri and non-science background students. Okay. Paper 1 on the morning, paper 2 evening, single day. Okay. And the exam schedule and all you will get, okay, at the time of after clearing prelims, and then they give you the exam schedule. Then you can watch, okay, the exam schedule and the GS paper 1 continuously. Okay, the essay paper, Tamil language paper will be there, and the GS paper 1, paper 3, paper 4. It will they will conduct the examination continuously, and they will give 1 week gap for the optional. Okay, morning paper 1, evening afternoon paper 2. Yes, okay, for agri students, without doubt, they can choose agriculture optional. In the class, I will explain the concepts clearly. You don't need to worry about that. No, class notes, actually, you need to refer material only. In the class, I'm not going to dictate any notes because I will provide the material. Okay. Again, we don't want to waste the time. Okay. Actually, I usually don't dictate. Right. I'll explain the concepts. Okay. I will teach the concepts. And the class mostly is interactive. The two-way communication. Okay. I will ensure that the class should be as interactive as possible. And in the class, I will explain the concepts. You can make short notes in the class. Okay. I won't dictate line by line. Okay. The students with the science background, they can choose. Okay. Right. So in the course, I will cover the entire syllabus. Okay. So all the topics in the syllabus will be covered in our coaching. Okay. I will discuss every topic in the class. See, students with the biology subject, if they have studied +1, +2, in their +1, +2, if you have studied biology, botany, zoology, then you can choose agriculture optional. Okay. ஏன்னா ஒவ்வொரு தனித்தனியாக கேட்குறாங்க B.Pharm படிக்கலாமா, மேத்ஸ் படிக்கலாமா என்ன. See, I clearly told you that any students, okay, non-agri students with a science background, that is +1, +2, if you have studied biology in your +1, +2, in your higher secondary, you can choose. I will explain agri concepts very clearly in the class. Okay. Yes, scientific names are okay. That's why I told you. In pure science optionals, we need to mug up some facts. Okay. We need to develop the memorizing capacity. Okay. So the scientific names are important, especially in the paper 1, weed science. We need to remember the scientific names of the weeds. And in paper 2, entomology, pathology, we need to remember the scientific names of the disease and the pest. Okay. But don't worry about the entomology and pathology, because many agri students, they are hesitant to take agriculture option because of entomology, pathology. But don't worry about that. Entomology, pathology, maximum they will ask, okay, pest and disease question, only one question from the okay, our syllabus. So we can focus on the remaining areas. Okay, agri students don't worry about entomology pathology. It's not important in our UPSC. Okay, there are some other subjects are there, other syllabus topics are there in entomology pathology. We can focus on other areas. Pest and disease management we will discuss later. Okay, I will in the class I will provide how to cover those areas effectively. Okay, so don't worry about the pest and disease management at all. Yeah, we conduct one more batch in November. You can attend that class. Okay, based on your convenience, you can choose. But the general plan is regarding our okay. So most of you, I think most of you are freshers, right? So enrolled for the you are going to appear for next year 2024 prelims, right? So the general our strategy is for optional preparation for UPSC preparation. This is the correct time. Okay, so after college in the month of July we enter into for the preparation. So from July to December, this is the time for your mains preparation, especially optional. You should complete your optional before December, in the month of November. Okay, along with our course, the course duration is 4.5 months. So along with our course, you have to complete your optional preparation. So we regularly we conduct the class test, okay, weekly test. So you can complete the syllabus along with the coaching, okay, the course, right? So before December and November, you have to complete the optional preparation. Then after December, you can exclusively focus on the prelims area. The 6 months time, okay, for a fresher, the 6 months time is essential for the prelims preparation. Then after prelims, after May, usually they conduct again the examination, the mains examination will be in the month of September. So 3 months the time gap will be there. So in the time period, you have enough time to only for revision. Because next year you will be very busy, okay? So don't think that we can prepare optional next year. You cannot do that, okay? So it will be very hectic. So next year after clearing prelims, because many students they are facing the difficulty, right? So fortunately they clear the prelims, but the problem is it's very difficult for them to manage the optional, GS, essay, everything. Because next year you will be very busy attending GS test, essay test and optional test. Every week, usually we conduct a test every week, right? So every week you have to attempt all the tests, okay, essay test, GS test and optional test. So you have only time for revision. So you need to complete the optional preparation before December. But many students, the problem is, actually we conduct one more batch in November. But that's for many students, because of the college duration, okay, so many colleges, they complete the course only in the month of, they give the certificate only in the month of August, September. So for late joining students, we conduct one more batch in November. But the problem is, when you start November batch, the course will go up to March, April. So you need to have, okay, you need to maintain the balance. You need to have time, okay, for preparation of your prelims also. That's the problem. Okay. But those students, mostly the November batch students, they decide 2025 preparation, okay, optional preparation. Sorry, prelims appearance. Okay. So, but my suggestion is for the July batch is the best, so that you can prepare well in the before December or before November you can complete your optional preparation. Okay, so this is the best time for your coaching. Okay, right. So in agriculture, for agri students, they know that. See, in our syllabus, in our syllabus, in agronomy, the cropping system area, one major topic is there, package of practices. Okay, so don't worry, agri students, don't worry about the package of practices and the pest and disease management. Because they are not important they are important in our college, okay, in agri, okay, in our college studies it's important, but they are not important in UPSC. So we can focus on some other topics, okay, in the same entomology pathology, other areas are also there. We can focus on those areas, and I will give you idea about how to cover package of practices and pest and disease management, because it's highly impossible. In the cropping system, package of practices nothing but they will ask you write about the various practices for a crop production, particular crop, right? So in the syllabus they have given cereal, pulses, oil seeds, millets, cash crops. There are more than 100 crops are there. So it's highly impossible to cover for each and every crop. Okay, it's very difficult to cover the what is the seed rate, what is the spacing, what is the weed management practice, what is the irrigation management practice. Okay, again for horticultural crops also they give fruits and vegetables. There are more than 50 fruits are there, more than 50 vegetables are there. But don't worry, they are not important in UPSC. Rarely they will ask one question. That too we can skip in the our choice-based question. So we can attempt a maximum question from the. That's why I'm telling. You need to be very strong in the section A. But I will give you idea how to cover those areas. Suppose if they're asking the compulsory question also, we can manage easily. We can manage the percentage management and the package of practices. I will give you a simple idea how to cover the entire crops. But we will discuss in the class. Okay. Right. So, in a simple topic, in nutrient management, some nutrients are essential for croplands: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, sulfur, then calcium, iron. Okay, there are several essential nutrients for the croplands. Okay, for the normal growth and development of croplands, they need the essential nutrients. Okay, they are called the essential nutrients. And the three major nutrients for croplands: NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Okay, right. So usually these nutrients are called they are highly mobile within the plant. Mobile means mobility, movement. Okay, so they are highly mobile within the plant. And these nutrients are the sulfur, calcium, ferrous. They are highly immobile within the plant. Immobile means their mobility, their transport is restricted. Their transport is very slow. Okay, that is the immobile nutrients. Right. So usually these nutrients, okay, you will study that in the nutrient management topic. There is one important topic. Okay, important repeated question in agriculture. Write the role of nutrients in the croplands. Write the role of the various nutrients in the croplands. Right. So usually we add one point: the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium. These nutrients, they cause symptoms. Okay, why they are essential? Right. So there is one common question: role of nutrients and the deficiency symptoms they cause. If there is any deficiency of this nitrogen, what are the symptoms they cause in the croplands, on the croplands? Okay, that is one common question, right? So the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, they cause symptoms on the older leaves. Usually you can see the discoloration of the leaves, yellowing of leaves. You can see the symptoms on the older leaves, right? And the deficiency of these nutrients, sulfur, calcium, and iron, they cause symptoms on the younger leaves. The browning of the tips, okay, the browning of the young buds. You can see those symptoms on the younger part of the leaves. That is because of this, the deficiency of sulfur, calcium, and ferrous. See, the entire nutrient management topic, the soil science area, it's full of concept oriented. If you understand the logic, then without mugging up, we can easily write those points, right? So this is the basic concept. So these nutrients are highly mobile in the plant, and these nutrients are highly immobile within the plant. So there is a strong relation between. So this concept is important for the deficient symptoms produced from the croplands. Okay. For example, the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, they are highly mobile. So in the soil, when the croplands, they take nutrients from the soil, right? Since these nutrients are highly mobile, so immediately after absorption by the roots, they are transported to the upper parts of the plants. So here this translocation, it is called, it's a movement in the vascular system of the plant, xylem and phloem. Okay, so they are moved very quickly within the plant system, right? So immediately after the absorption by the roots, they are quickly transported to the upper parts of the leaves. And if the soil contains enough nutrients, then they take nutrients continuously from the soil and they transport the nutrients to various parts of the plant. right? Suppose if the soil is, okay, if there is a deficiency of nutrient in the soil, then after absorption, the entire amount is transported to the upper part of the leaves. For the lower part of the leaves, they will face the deficiency. That's why these nutrients, they cause deficiency symptoms on the older leaves. Because all the nutrients absorbed by the plants, the NPK, magnesium, they quickly they are transported to the upper parts of the plants. If the soil, if they don't contain enough nutrient, if they don't provide nutrients continuously, then they won't get the nutrients. Okay, so that's why they cause symptoms on the older leaves. So by default, if they ask this question, okay, out of 4 nutrients, by default we can write this point. If they ask about write the role of nitrogen and the deficiency symptom of nitrogen, the default point, nitrogen cause symptoms on the older leaves of the plants. Phosphorus, same point. Potassium, same point. Magnesium, same point. Whatever the nutrients they ask, we can write this point. We can, by default, we can write this point. Okay, and again, if they ask these nutrients, then again by default we can write this point because they are highly immobile. Same logic. So the plants, okay, when they take nutrients from these nutrients from the soil, because their mobility is very slow, right? So they move very slowly, right? If the soil doesn't provide enough nutrients for the crop plants, by the time they reach the top portion, already nutrients are depleted. So mostly these nutrients are utilized for the older part of the leaves. The younger parts of the leaves unable to get nutrients from the lower portion. So that's why they cause symptoms on the older leaves, because of their immobility in nature within the plants. Okay. So the browning of tissues and the budding problem, okay, dropping of buds, these symptoms are caused by the sulfur, calcium and the ferrous. Okay. So it's full of based on logic. If you understand the logic, conceptual clarity, then we can easily address, okay, we can avoid the conceptual error. Because in the agriculture, one more, okay, we have to be very careful. We should not make any conceptual mistake. Okay, it will give you a bad impression. And okay, examiner, okay, when you see the paper, if you are writing any wrong information, or if you are okay, if you understand, okay, we don't understand the concept clearly, then it will affect our marks. So the conceptual clarity is very important. That we will discuss in the class. I will clear, okay, I will explain all the concepts very clearly. Okay, right. One thing. And one more, the same logic we can apply. For example, this is the mobility, immobility within the plant. In soil, sonobo. Okay, in the class I will teach you a lot of code words, shortcuts. Okay, so there is no meaning for sonobo. Okay, just sonobo. Okay, right. Sonobo means sulfate, nitrate, boron. Okay, 3 nutrients: sulfate, nitrate, boron. So they are highly mobile in the soil. Okay. See, sulfur, boron, again boron also come here. Okay. So sulfur, boron, calcium, ferrous, they are highly immobile within the plant, but sulfate, nitrate, boron, they are highly mobile in the soil. There is a difference. Okay. And the phosphorus, it is highly mobile within the plant, but the phosphorus is highly immobile in the soil. So we need to understand these concepts clearly, okay, so that we can write the answers logically. Without studying elaborately, we can, okay, based on logic only, we can give answers, right? Okay, see, first I will complete this, okay. So sulfate, nitrate, boron. So nitrate, they are highly mobile within the soil, okay, right. Usually for agri student, you might have heard, okay, in your college, in the crop production area, usually for rice plant, usually nitrate form of fertilizers are not suitable for rice plant. Mostly we recommend the urea. Okay, so in the nitrogen, there are 3 different forms of nitrogen: nitrate form of nitrogen, ammonium form of nitrogen, and one more form is called the amide form of nitrogen, urea. Okay, so usually the scientists, they recommend, they don't recommend nitrate form of fertilizer to rice plant. Usually they recommend the ammonium form or amide form. Why? There is a logic. Why we cannot apply nitrate form of fertilizer for the rice plant? Nitrate form of fertilizer means ammonium nitrate. There is one fertilizer, okay, ammonium nitrate, sodium nitrate, calcium nitrate. These are the various nitrate form of nitrogen fertilizers. Usually we don't apply this fertilizer for the rice plant. We should not apply. We don't apply, we should not apply. Because that leads to inefficiency of fertilizer, that leads to wastage of fertilizer. Because this nitrate is, just I told you that Sonobo, they are highly mobile within the soil. So mobile means mobility. They move very freely in the soil. So in case of, because usually we grow rice in the standing water, right? Usually we grow rice in the standing water, in the waterlogged condition, right? So in the waterlogged condition, these nutrients are highly mobile, means the mobility is determined by the solubility. That means they are highly soluble in water. The nitrate is highly soluble in water, so they are subjected to heavy leaching. Leaching means removal of nutrients from the top layer to bottom layer. There is a leaching process. Okay, in agriculture we use a term called leaching. So leaching means removal of the metal nutrients from the top layer to bottom layer, or some transport from one place to another place. There is a leaching process, right? So this leaching is mainly caused due to solubility. When a particular material is highly soluble in water, they are subjected to heavy leaching, right? So when we apply nitrate form of fertilizer, they are highly soluble in water because they have high mobility. So they are leached from the soil. They won't be available to the crop plants. So their efficiency will be affected. Okay. If you apply 100 kg of fertilizer, then the crop plants, they can able to take only 20-30 kg. Remaining 70% will be leached out, removed from the soil. Okay. So the loss is very high in case of the waterlogged condition, especially in the rice waterlogged condition. That's why we recommend the urea for the rice plant, amide form of fertilizer. Okay. Right. So these are the logics, okay, in our nutrient management topic, soil science. So these concepts are very important, okay, to understand how the crop plants, they take nutrients from the soil. Okay, in plant physiology, actually, these concepts are again important for our second paper also. There is a close link between the soil science, nutrient management, and the plant physiology. There is a strong relation. So the understanding of these concepts are important for our plant physiology area. And in agriculture paper and paper 2, one topic is common for both paper and paper 2. They ask this question in both paper and paper 2. That is role of these nutrients. Same syllabus in both paper 1 and paper 2. So this question we can expect in paper 1. At the same time, this question also we can expect in the paper 2 also, in plant physiology area. Okay, common answer for both topics. Right. And one more concept, okay, in paper 2. Actually, for the entire paper 2, in our genetics, there is one basic concept, loss of heredity. Loss of heredity, the Mendelian law. Okay, Mendel's laws of inheritance. That is a main concept. So for the entire paper 2, the up to seed technology, we need to understand the loss of heredity. Okay, so there's a basis for to understand the entire plant breeding and genetics. Okay, right. That we will discuss later. But one topic, the ploidy level. Ploidy means, what is ploidy? Chromosome number. Okay, it's called a ploidy. Ploidy means chromosome number. Right. So in the ploidy, there are two types of ploidy. One is diploid. Another one is called polyploid. So diploid and polyploid. Right. So diploid, who are diploids? Human beings. Okay, we are diploid organisms. Diploid means any individual organism contains two sets of chromosomes. Okay, those are called diploid organisms, diploid individuals. And this diploid condition is the normal one, normal case. Okay, right. Normal individuals are called diploid individuals. So during our in our the reproduction, in the sexual reproduction process, okay, in plants and animals, usually the male and the female gametes, they contain one set of chromosome. They combine together to produce the zygote. So this is the first formed cell after the fertilization process. Okay. So the male gametes, they contain half chromosome. Female gametes contain half chromosome. They combine together to produce the full set of chromosome. So every single, okay, every individual, they contain two set of chromosome. One is from father, another one is from the mother, another set from mother. So in our human beings, we have 46 chromosome. So the 2n number equal 46 and the n number equals to 23. That is a haploid number. Okay, it's called one more term we use, haploid. The single set of chromosome, okay, it's called a haploid, right? So usually this haploid is nothing but gametic chromosome number is called haploid. Usually individuals, they contain two set of chromosomes, but in the gametes they contain only, gametes means sex cells. In the male, okay, the male and the female sex cells, they contain only half chromosome number, okay, n number, right? So this occurs due to the meiotic. There is one cell division process called a meiotic cell division. So usually this meiosis process occurs in the sex cells. They divide the full chromosome into half. Full chromosome into half set. Okay, right. Haploid number. In case of polyploidy individuals, they are the deviations from the diploid set. Okay, so usually the diploid organisms are called normal individuals or human beings. Mostly animals, we can see the diploid condition, right? In the polyploidy condition, mostly you can see in the plants, crop plants, right? And one more diploid individual, the rice, very common example. 2n equal 24. Rice is a diploid crop plant. Okay, it contains two set of chromosome, 2n equal 24. That means what is the haploid number for rice? 12. That is the haploid number for the rice. That is, in the rice plant, the male and the female gametes, the male anther and the female, the pistil, they contain only half chromosome number. 12 number, that's all. So during reproduction, during the fertilization process, they combine together to produce the normal diploid individual. Okay, right. Whereas in case of polyploidy, they contain multiple sets of chromosomes, more than two set of chromosomes. So they are the deviation from the diploid individual. For example, banana, our edible banana is a triploid species. Triploid means they contain three set of chromosomes. Our wheat, our commonly cultivated wheat plant. So wheat is a hexaploid that contains 6 set of chromosomes. Cotton is a tetraploid species. They contain 4 set of chromosomes. Okay. Then a potato, again it's a tetraploid species. So most of our normally cultivated the crop plants, they contain more than 1 set of chromosome, more than 2 set of chromosome. Okay, they are called polyploidy individuals, right? So this is the concept. Okay, and we use one more term called monoploid. Monoploid. So the haploid and the monoploid, it means single set of chromosome. Okay, so normally individuals having 2 set of chromosomes, and from the 2 set of chromosome, the half chromosome number is called a haploid. For example, in the wheat, the chromosome number of wheat is 42. What is the haploid number for wheat? Half chromosome number. That is a haploid number. Okay, so haploid number for wheat is half chromosome number. So n equal to 21. So in the wheat plant, in their sex cells, they contain only 21 chromosome. Okay, so this is called a haploid number. We use one more term called monoploid. Right. So this monoploid we apply only for the true diploid species. Why I am telling this concept? Because often we get confused regarding the monoploid and haploid. Because monoploid and haploid both are same. Usually we say that monoploid means opposite, half chromosome. Okay, diploid means di means 2, mono means single. So half chromosome number of diploid is called monoploid. But what is the haploid? Again, half chromosome number of diploid is called a monoploid, haploid. So it seems, okay, both are same, but they are different. Okay, so monoploid is different from haploid. So the haploid means we apply for both diploid as well as polyploid species. Whatever the species, okay, simply the gametic chromosome number is called a haploid number. For example, cotton, 2n equal to 52. So this is the chromosome number of cotton, 2n equal to 52. So the haploid number is 26. That is the haploid number for the cotton. So for any species, whether it is a diploid species or a polyploid species, the half chromosome number is called a haploid number. So we can apply the concept of haploid for any species. but we apply the concept of monoploid only for the diploid species, not for polyploid species. So only for the diploid species we use the term monoploid. So for a true diploid species like rice, like human beings, the monoploid, haploid both are same. Okay, so for rice the haploid number is 12, monoploid number is 12. Okay, but we cannot apply the concept of monoploid for the polyploid species. In that case, the half chromosome number is called a haploid number. That's all. Okay. So we'll discuss later. Okay, in the class, I will elaborately we will discuss later. Okay, what are the modifications in this chromosome number? Because this is one of the important topic in our syllabus. Repeated question. Applications of these haploids. Application of polyploid in agriculture. Because our normally cultivated fruits, vegetables, everything are polyploid species. You don't know that? Our edible banana is a triploid. Most of our common cultivated plants and our big size fruits they all polyploids. Watermelon is a triploid species. See again the logic. Okay, they contain so polyploid species. Okay, where we apply this concept in the polyploid. Sometimes we artificially produce these crops. Artificially we develop grapes. Big size grapes over there. Huge size grapes. It's not a normal diploid species. It's a polyploid species. So we artificially enlarge the size of the fruits and vegetables by developing polyploid species because they contain more chromosome. Okay, they contain multiples of chromosome. Against a normal diploid individual, they contain multiple set of chromosomes. So we can obtain big size fruits, vegetables from the polyploid species. This application. Big size watermelon, big size grapes. Okay. Suppose if you want in agriculture, if you want more leaf yield, in case of fodder crops, for livestock, for the fodder crops, then in economic product, okay, for example, tea. In tea, what is economic product? In tea, leaf yield. For these type of crop plants, we develop the polyploid species so that they produce more profuse tillering of the vegetative part. That's the application of the polyploids. Okay. Right. So this is okay. In the class, I will teach their concepts every time. So you can make short notes from my teaching, and I will give a lot of examples in the class. So I will give a lot of examples in the class. You can note down, but you have to study from the material. I will provide the material. So I will explain the concepts, and in your room you can in the day. Okay, so when I teach a particular topic, then you can directly in the room you can study the particular topic with your material. That's more than sufficient. Okay. And if you have any doubts, you can message me in the Telegram, the WhatsApp. You can message me. I will explain I will clear the doubts. Okay. Any doubts regarding class, coaching, course? Online students, any doubts? Please send your doubts to co-host. So the class is the session is over. You can leave. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I will be here only. Okay. Otherwise, you can leave. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay. All the best.
Recording stopped.